Hello, my dear students. Welcome to IK Sir Chemistry classes. Here we are in lecture number 2 on solid state for chemistry students of class 12. This video will also be useful to JEE and NEET aspirants. In this video, we will discuss the classification of crystalline solids. Crystalline solids are of four types on the basis of nature of the attractive force binding their constituent particles, and these are ionic solids, covalent solids, metallic solids, and molecular solids. We will discuss all these four types of crystalline solids separately in detail. Let us start our discussion with ionic solids. The ionic solids are made up of positively charged ions, that is cations, and negatively charged ions, that is anions, which are held together by very strong electrostatic attractive force. An ionic solid is represented here, which is made up of cations and anions, which are held together by very strong electrostatic attractive force which acts between oppositely charged ions. Examples of ionic solids are given here. NaCl, that is rock salt, CaF2, fluoride, CeSCl, cesium chloride, ZnS, that is zinc blend, TiO2 is a mineral whose name is rutile, and sodium oxide, Na2O. All these are examples of ionic solids. Now let us discuss characteristics of ionic solids. The characteristic features of ionic solids arise from the fact that there is very strong electrostatic attractive force between oppositely charged ions in the ionic solid. The ionic solids have high melting point and boiling point. These are generally non-volatile. These are hard and brittle. They are split up on hammering or by applying a stress. These, that is ionic solids, are electrical insulator in the solid state because the ions are not free to move, but they conduct the electric current in the molten state or in the aqueous solution. In solid NaCl, Na plus and Cl minus ions are held at fixed distances from one another. They cannot move, and hence solid sodium chloride is electrical insulator. But when it is heated strongly, it melts, in which Na plus ion and Cl minus ion can move freely, and hence the molten state of sodium chloride conducts electricity. And when sodium chloride solid is dissolved in water, it dissociates into Na plus aqueous and Cl minus aqueous ions, forming aqueous solution of sodium chloride, in which Na plus and Cl minus ions can move from one place to another place, and hence the aqueous solution of sodium chloride is also electrical conductor. Let us explain the cause of brittleness of ionic solid. In an ionic solid, cation is surrounded by anions and anion is surrounded by cations. An electrostatic attractive force acts between oppositely charged ions which binds them together. But when a stress is applied, cations comes in contact with cation and anion comes in contact with anion. Consequently, an electrostatic repulsive force acts. As a result, the ionic solid splits up on applying a stress or on hammering, as illustrated on the next slide by diagram. This is an ionic solid which consists of cations. Red colored balls represent cations and the purple colored balls represent anions. These cations and anions are held together by electrostatic attractive force. When a stress is applied, this layer of ions shifts in the right hand direction. As a result, the cation comes in contact with cation, the anion comes in contact with anion, and an electrostatic repulsive force acts between them. Consequently, the ionic solid splits up into two parts on hammering or applying a stress. This is why ionic solids are brittle in nature. The second type of crystalline solid is covalent solid. The covalent solids are made up of generally non-metallic atoms which are held together by covalent bonds. Let us see it again. The covalent solids are generally made up of non-metallic atoms which are held in the crystal together by covalent bonds. A few examples of covalent solids are given here. Diamond, which is made up of carbon atoms. Graphite, which is also made up of carbon atoms. Silicon, which is made up of Si atoms, and silicon carbide, SiC, which is commercially known as carborundum. All these four are examples of covalent solids. A structure of diamond. In diamond, sp3 hybridized carbon atoms are tetrahedrally bonded to four other neighboring carbon atoms by strong sigma bonds. It means in diamond, carbon atom is sp3 hybridized and it is bonded tetrahedrally to four other neighboring carbon atoms by strong sigma bonds. Valence shell electronic configuration of carbon atom in diamond. There are four valence electrons in the carbon atom, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there is sp3 hybridization. Each carbon atom forms four sigma bonds, 1, 2, 3, and 4 with neighboring four carbon atoms. This carbon atom is tetrahedrally surrounded by four other carbon atoms by strong sigma bonds, and the bond angle carbon is 109°28', which is the normal tetrahedral bond angle. The sigma electrons are localized. This sigma bond consists of two electrons which are called sigma electrons, and these two sigma electrons are localized between two carbon atoms, and hence diamond is electrical insulator because these sigma bonds cannot conduct electric current on account of their astatic nature. It is the hardest substance known. Diamond is the hardest substance known so far. Its hardness is 10 moles. Please note that The unit of hardness is moz and the hardness of diamond is 10 moz. There is another mineral known as talc which is used in the preparation of talcum powder, has hardness 1 mho. Now let us discuss the structure of graphite. Graphite has sheet-like structure with hexagonal rings of sp2 hybridized carbon atoms fused together. In the graphite, the carbon atom is sp2 hybridized, and these sp2 hybridized carbon atoms form hexagonal rings, and these hexagonal rings are fused together forming sheet-like structure. This is the valence electronic configuration of carbon atom in graphite, and hybridization is sp2. px and py atomic orbitals of carbon atom take part in sp2 hybridization. These sheets of carbon atoms are held together at a distance of 3.35 angstrom, that is 335 picometer, by weak van der Waals forces. This is the structure of graphite, in which each carbon atom is sp2 hybridized and it forms 3 sigma bonds 1, 2, 3 with neighboring carbon atoms, 1 sigma bond, 2 sigma bond and 3 sigma bond. Each carbon atom forms 3 sigma bonds with neighboring carbon atoms forming hexagonal rings, and these hexagonal rings are fused together forming sheet-like structure. Since px and py atomic orbitals have taken part in hybridization, the sheet of carbon atoms lies on xy plane. This sheet is also on xy plane, and this sheet of carbon atoms is also on xy plane. It means the sheets of carbon atoms in graphite are parallel to one another and are held at a distance of 335 picometer by weak van der Waals forces. One sheet of carbon atoms can slide over another sheet of carbon atoms, and this is why graphite is soft and slippery. Each carbon atom of graphite has a singly occupied 2pz atomic orbital which is perpendicular to the xy plane. Each carbon atom, only one has been represented here, contains a singly occupied 2pz atomic orbital which is perpendicular to the plane of carbon atoms. The singly occupied 2pz atomic orbitals of carbon atoms of a sheet of graphite take part in the linear combination with one another, forming a quasi-continuous pi energy band which is half filled by electrons. Let us see it again. The singly occupied 2pz atomic orbitals of carbon atoms of a sheet of graphite take part in linear combination with one another, forming quasi-continuous pi energy band which is half filled by electrons. 2pz atomic orbital of one carbon atom. There are such n carbon atoms, and hence there will be n 2pz atomic orbitals of n carbon atoms in a sheet of graphite. These take part in linear combination forming n molecular orbitals. It must be noted that the number of molecular orbitals produced is always equal to the number of atomic orbitals taking part in linear combination. Since n 2pz atomic orbitals have taken part in linear combination, n molecular orbitals will be produced, and these molecular orbitals will be so closely spaced that they constitute almost continuous energy band, which is known as pi energy band or 2p energy band. And this energy band contains n electrons. One electron is present in one 2pz atomic orbital, and hence n electrons will be present in n 2pz atomic orbitals. Maximum capacity to accommodate electrons in this pi energy band or valence band or 2p energy band is 2n, because maximum 2 electrons can be accommodated in any orbital, whether atomic orbital or molecular orbital. Since there are n molecular orbitals, maximum 2n electrons can be accommodated in this 2p energy band or pi energy band. But actual number of electrons present is n. The maximum capacity is 2n, while the number of electrons present in this energy band is n, and therefore this valence band is half filled by electrons. The lower half is filled by electrons while the upper half is vacant, and therefore the electrons can move throughout this energy band, and this is why graphite is electrical conductor. These pi electrons are delocalized in between the sheets, and hence they can move throughout the graphite crystal, and this is why graphite is electrical conductor. Graphite is soft and slippery, as we have discussed earlier, because one sheet of carbon atoms can slide over another. Graphite leaves black mark on paper, and this is why graphite is used as lubricant, because it is slippery, to make pencil because it leaves black mark on the paper, and as electrodes because it is electrical conductor. A structure of silicon. The structure of silicon is similar to that of diamond, in which sp3 hybridized silicon atoms are tetrahedrally bonded to 4 other neighboring silicon atoms by strong sigma bonds. The structure of silicon crystal is similar to that of diamond, and each silicon atom is sp3 hybridized and bonded to 4 other neighboring silicon atoms by strong sigma bonds. Valence shell electronic configuration of silicon atom in silicon crystal 3s3p are the valence shell orbitals, and there is sp3 hybridization. Each silicon atom forms 4 sigma bonds with neighboring 4 silicon atoms which are arranged tetrahedrally. The 3D structure of silicon crystal is represented here. The silicon atom is bonded to 4 neighboring silicon atoms by a strong sigma bonds. This is a strong sigma bond, and its 2D structure is represented here. The silicon atom is bonded to neighboring 4 silicon atoms through a strong sigma bond. This sigma bond consists of 2 electrons, and hence it is called normal covalent bond. That is 2 center 2 electron bond. 2 silicon atoms share 1 electron each. That is 1 electron pair between them, forming a sigma bond. That is 2 electrons are involved between 2 silicon atoms, and hence it is called 2 center 2 electron bond or normal covalent bond. A structure of silicon carbide, that is carborundum. The structure of silicon carbide is similar to that of diamond and silicon. 3D structure of silicon carbide is represented here. Silicon atom is bonded to neighboring 4 carbon atoms through a strong sigma bonds, and each carbon atom is tetrahedrally bonded to 4 silicon atoms again through a strong sigma bonds. Thus there is a strong network of sigma bonds throughout the crystal of silicon carbide. This is the 2D structure of silicon carbide, in which silicon atom is bonded to 4 neighboring carbon atoms through a strong sigma bonds. At the same time, the carbon atom is also bonded to 4 neighboring silicon atoms through a strong sigma bonds. The third type of crystalline solid is metallic solid. The metallic solid is made up of metal atoms held together by metallic bond. There are 3 theories of metallic bond: electron pull theory, valence bond theory, and molecular orbital theory. The electron pull theory is the simplest one. According to the electron pull theory, the metal atoms lose all their valence electrons during the formation of metal crystal, forming positive metal core. During the formation of crystal by a metal, its atoms lose all their valence electrons, forming positive metal core. This is metal atom containing n valence electrons, and these valence electrons are lost during the formation of metal crystal, forming positive metal core. It is positive metal core, and these are valence electrons. These valence electrons, which are lost by metal atom during the formation of metal crystal, these valence electrons constitute a pool of electrons. Pool means a small tank, a small pond in which positive metal cores are immersed. During the formation of a metal crystal, all the metal atoms lose all their valence electrons. These valence electrons constitute a pool of electrons in which positive metal cores are immersed. An electrostatic attractive force acts between the positive metal cores and the electrons of the electron pool, which binds them together. An electrostatic attractive force acts between the positively charged metal cores and negatively charged electrons of the electron pool, which binds them together. It is the metallic solid which consists of positive metal cores which are immersed in the pool, a small tank of mobile electrons, and an electrostatic attractive force acts between the positive metal core and the electron of the electron pool, which binds them together. The positive metal cores are held at equilibrium distances from one another. The positive metal cores of the metal crystal are held at equilibrium distances from one another, while the electrons of the electron pool are free to move throughout the crystal. These mobile electrons of the electron pool provide various properties to metals such as thermal conductivity and electrical conductivity, as well as metallic luster. The various properties of Metallic solids are due to the presence of mobile electrons which can move throughout the metal crystal. Examples of some metallic solids are given here: gold, silver, iron, copper, aluminum, sodium, etc. are metallic solids. In fact, all the metals except mercury are metallic solids. Mercury is a metal, but it is a liquid at room temperature. Features of metallic solids. The metallic solids may be soft, such as sodium metal is so soft that it can be cut with a knife. On the other hand, tungsten is a very hard metal. It means metallic solid may be soft or very hard. The metallic solid may have low melting point, such as gallium, whose melting point is 30 degrees centigrade, or very high melting point, such as tungsten, whose melting point is 3380 degrees centigrade. If we put a piece of gallium metal on our palm, it will melt away because the temperature of our body is about 37 degrees centigrade, which is greater than the melting point of gallium. In fact, tungsten has the highest melting point among all the metals. Metals are good conductor of heat and electricity, and this property of metal is due to the presence of mobile electrons. Metals are lustrous, that is, they are shining. The plane surfaces of metal are shining and lustrous. Metal is malleable and ductile due to non-directional nature of metallic bond. The most characteristic feature of metallic solids are their malleability and ductility. Metal is sonorous. It means if a piece of metal is hammered, it produces a specific sound which is called metallic sound. These are the characteristic features of metallic solids. Malleability and ductility of copper can be explained on the basis of non-directional nature of metallic bond. Here, some pieces of copper metal are present. These pieces can be hammered into sheet or bowl. This property of metal is called malleability. At the same time, the piece of copper can be stretched into wire, and this property of metal is called ductility. Thermal and electrical conductivity of metal. When one end of a metal rod is heated, the free electrons of that end become excited by absorbing thermal energy, and they move rapidly to the other end, carrying thermal energy with them. Thus, the other end of rod also becomes hot. This is a metal rod. Its one end is heated by a gas burner. The free electrons of this end get excited by absorbing thermal energy, and these free electrons move rapidly to the other end, carrying thermal energy with them. As a result, the other end of the metal rod also becomes hot. The electrical conductivity of metal wire can also be explained in a similar manner on the basis of presence of mobile electrons. And the fourth type of crystalline solid is molecular solid. The molecular solid is made up of discrete molecules. The ionic solid is made up of cations and anions. The covalent solid is made up of non-metallic atoms. The metallic solid is made up of metal atoms, while the molecular solid is made up of discrete molecules which may be held together by weak van der Waals force, dipole-dipole interaction, or hydrogen bond. The molecular solid consists of discrete molecules, and these discrete molecules can be held together in the crystal by weak van der Waals forces or dipole-dipole interaction or hydrogen bond. Let us illustrate these three types of forces acting in the molecular solid. The van der Waals force acts between non-polar molecules such as rhombic sulfur is made up of S8 molecules, and these S8 molecules are held together in the crystal of rhombic sulfur by weak van der Waals force. The dipole-dipole interaction takes place between polar molecules which cannot form hydrogen bond, such as HCl is a polar molecule due to greater electronegativity of chlorine atom than hydrogen atom. As a result, chlorine atom becomes partially negatively charged and hydrogen atom becomes partially positively charged, and these polar HCl molecules are held together in the crystal of hydrogen chloride by dipole-dipole interaction. The hydrogen bond is formed between the molecules in which hydrogen atom is attached to highly electronegative atom such as fluorine, oxygen, or nitrogen. Let us see it again. Hydrogen bond is formed between those molecules in which hydrogen atom is attached to highly electronegative atoms such as AFO or N. In solid hydrogen fluoride, two HF molecules are held together by hydrogen bond. Here H is covalently bonded to highly electronegative fluorine atom. As a result, there is high partial positive charge on hydrogen atom and high partial negative charge on fluorine atom, and these highly polar molecules are held together by hydrogen bond in the crystal of hydrogen fluoride. Features of molecular solids. The molecular solids have low melting point due to weak intermolecular force. These are generally volatile, again due to same reason. The attractive force binding the molecules of a molecular solid is generally weak. These are electrical insulator and soft. A few examples of molecular solids are given here. Wax, which is solid hydrocarbon, white phosphorus, rhombic sulfur, monoclinic sulfur, anthracene, ice, dry ice, solid ammonia, etc. Ice is relatively harder due to the fact that H2O molecules are held together in ice by hydrogen bond. The hydrogen bonded molecular solids generally are harder. The molecular solids which are hydrogen bonded, in which the molecules are held together by hydrogen bond, are generally relatively harder. What is dry ice? It is solid CO2, in which CO2 molecules are held together by weak van der Waals force. Solid ammonia, it consists of NH3 molecules which are held together by hydrogen bond. Thank you for watching the video with patience. Please like and share this video if you find it useful and fruitful to you. And If you have not subscribed my channel yet, please subscribe it so that you can get information regarding my new videos in time. Thank you again.